So I've reviewed YouTuber sneakers before. In fact, I have a couple of my own sneakers that I designed that we've released, most recently the We Are Underdogs Granite. But what's different about this shoe is that this shoe is not designed by a sneaker YouTuber. And I know that shouldn't be crazy, but over the last couple years, most of the sneakers that have come out from smaller brands have been from people who are involved in the sneaker industry in some way, whether that's sneaker influencers, sneaker designers, sneaker YouTubers, people like that. But what interests me most about the sneaker that we're going to review in today's video is that it's from a brand that was co-founded by a huge YouTuber that really doesn't have that much to do with sneakers. And honestly, I feel like the team over at NoTwoWays is giving a lot of smaller sneaker brands a run for their money. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing the NoTwoWays Sapphire. So to be completely transparent about this review, yes, NoTwoWays did send me this sneaker, but I was actually following this brand way before they even reached out. In fact, this was a brand that I actually tried to buy some of their sneakers in the past and I couldn't because they kept selling out. But I'm happy to report that I finally have a pair in hand and I love it. So to give you all some background on NoTwoWays, the brand that actually created this sneaker, that company was started by two different people. The first was YouTuber and creator Cal Lux, also known as Callum McGinley, and the second was sneaker designer Rockwell Princely. And I've got to say, for a brand that's barely been around for a year, they've created something that is genuinely really exciting and really interesting. Right off the bat, I've got to say that I love the design of this sneaker. I love the paneling on the upper. I love the fact that the midsole, I believe, is actually completely brand new. It's something that they created their own tooling for, which is a very expensive process. Also, I've got to give credit where credit is due. These two guys came together and created a brand that creates sneakers, one of the hardest products to actually create from scratch, and they're doing a great job with it. I have personal experience co-founding a brand. Granted, it's creating things that are not as difficult to create as sneakers. Socks, as you guys know, I started Apothecary with a friend of mine, and I've got to admit that it's a very difficult thing to do. It's something that at first I thought was going to be easy, but now that we're like a year in, it is one of the hardest things I've ever done. And you probably saw it coming, but now I'm going to throw in some obligatory shameless self-promotion and tell you guys about the latest Apothecary drop that's dropping this Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So this drop features 4 different colorways, and each colorway features a reflective logo. In fact, that's a sock that I'm wearing in the on-feet shots of the NoTwoWays Sapphires. We also got a really sick video made for this drop, so if you guys want to check it out, I'll make sure to put the entire video at the end of this video. And so if you guys are interested in grabbing any or maybe all of the Apothecary socks dropping this Friday, October 12th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, make sure to be on the website apothecary.com because they do sell out very quickly. But with these out of the way, let's dive right back into the shoes. Actually, before we do that, I do want to show you guys a quick look at the box because you've probably never seen this box before. So the box comes in a very nice deep blue color with the NoTwoWays orange and white stripe running down the side of the box. You've got the logo right there, and in an interesting touch that I actually really like, you've got this triangular cutout on the top that shows you the orange paper underneath. Now, something that I really love about this brand is their attention to detail, and that's something that I'll sort of point out as we go along in this review, but everything about the sneaker and the box and all the packaging and all that sort of good stuff is incredibly well thought out. Not only that, but the retail price of these sneakers is actually really great if you can get your hands on a pair because they sell out incredibly quickly. So whenever these shoes drop, they drop for a retail price of £100, or in the US, I think that's like $135, which is a pretty incredible price for a sneaker of this quality. But again, it is relatively difficult to get your hands on a pair of these. I would suggest signing up for their newsletter and also subscribing to Cal Lux on YouTube if you guys haven't yet already. He does usually throw in some promo in his videos whenever they've got a new drop coming out, so if you're subscribed, you should know when these drops are happening. But diving into the sneaker itself, for a $135 shoe, I've got to say that the quality on this sneaker is pretty decent. On the mudguard of this shoe, you've got this nice textured black fuse overlay. Just above that, you've got some suede in this beautiful blue, or I guess sapphire color, with the NoTwoWays logo embroidered on the lateral side. Just above that, you've got this really nice nubuck in this NoTwoWays orange color, which I guess is their signature color. And beneath that, you've got this nice deep blue with perforations. So one of the things that I really love about this company is their focus on sustainability. In fact, the laces that they use on these shoes, these white thick rope laces, apparently are made up of recycled fishing nets, which I think is kind of crazy. Then just beneath the laces, you've got this black nylon mesh tongue, and at the top of the tongue, you've actually got this really nice blue suede tag with the NoTwoWays logo printed onto it. Now, one of those little attention to detail moments that I was talking about that really makes a sneaker to me is the fact that they've printed this really nice orange design on the back of the tongue. It's super subtle. It's something that you would never see unless you were holding the shoe in your hands, but it really makes the shoe feel that much more premium. Moving inside the sneaker, you've got this dark gray sock liner that actually feels really nicely padded, and it feels like the foam that they're using has some sort of cooling properties to it. Maybe I'm off base about that, but it really feels like the foam just stays cool. It almost feels like the cool side of your pillow, like it's always supposed to stay cool. The insole of the shoe comes in black with the No2Ways logo and a QR code printed on the heel in white. And then another detail that I just really love about this shoe is that when you pull out the insole, they actually have this sort of orange foam panel which has No2Ways debossed into it multiple times. It's incredible. It's something that you would never really see unless you took the insole out, which most people don't. It's obvious that the designer of this shoe really focused on the details, and I love that about it. I think it really makes this sneaker. As far as sizing and fit, I would say that the No2Ways Sapphire and presumably all the other No2Ways sneakers that are in the same silhouette do fit true to size. They sent me a size 9, which is my true size, or I guess a UK size 8. The only complaint that I had, which I think will sort of mellow out over time, is that around the top of the ankle, it does kind of dig into my foot a little bit, but when I wear crew length socks, it doesn't bother me at all. If you wear the brand new Apothecary socks that are crew length, it won't bother you even a little bit, but that was really the only complaint that I had about fit with this shoe, and even then it was pretty subtle, and I think it will work itself out over time. Continuing back in the shoe, you've got more of that really cool blue paneling. You've also got this sort of black and white nylon strap that kind of wraps all the way around the heel of the sneaker, and then moving back towards the heel of the shoe, you've got more of that super hairy light blue suede, which I absolutely love. I don't know what I was doing with my hand just there. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I was kind of doing one of those like situations. I don't know what that was, but forget it, shouldn't have said anything about it. Then moving around to the back of the shoe, you've got more of that fuse overlay in black, you've got another orange hit, and then for the pull tab of the sneaker, you've got this really interesting sort of like semi-translucent plastic hit, which is actually pretty durable feeling, so I feel like I really can use this to pull the shoe on my feet. One complaint that I have about a lot of other sneakers on the market is that the heel pull tab can feel very fragile at times. This one feels like you can really pull it on your foot and actually use it, which I appreciate it. Moving down to the midsole of the sneaker, you've got this really nicely sculpted shape, and then something else that I really love about this midsole is its focus on sustainability, which we talked about earlier. As you can see, there's actually these really nice speckles throughout the midsole, and apparently the midsole is made up partially of recycled bottle caps. So not only does the midsole look cool, it also has a really cool story behind it, which I really like. And then finally, moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got this semi-translucent sort of smoky gray outsole. So overall, I've got to give mad props to Rockwell and also Calux for creating a pretty incredible sneaker at a great price point, and honestly, a pretty exciting new brand. If you can get your hands on these and you like the way that they look, I recommend picking them up. I think it's worth the money, especially since it's only 135 bucks, which is cheaper than most of the Nike sneakers that we buy every other weekend. So now let's get to the arbitrary Seth score of today. And today's score is going to be this is nice. But that pretty much wraps up the video for today. Now I would love to know your thoughts on the No2Ways Sapphire and whether this is a shoe that you would pick up for yourself. So make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.